Hey everyone, Keen here with Local Business Pro, and in this tutorial, I'm going to give you a quick rundown to where you can note just the few very important things that are going to get your AI voice receptionist set up for either your business or your client's business very, very quickly. So when you're looking at Local Business Pro, there are three main areas that you have to think about so that your AI is going to do exactly what you want it to do. And you can think of this kind of like pattern recognition or a web, like a spider web, where if you have a lot more of the content all saying the same thing, the AI is going to perform better. But if you have some of the AI that's receiving mixed signals, then the AI might get confused and hallucinate a little bit more. Now, a simple example of this is that one time we had a customer call in to our support team, very mad, very upset, and he said that our AI has been double discounting. And we were like, what? That doesn't make any sense. So we go look at his account, and he added a coupon that the AI was going to give out, but he didn't tell the system if the AI had applied the coupon yet or not. And when I say that, I mean the price point that the AI had received. And so sometimes the AI would double it, sometimes the AI would not add it because it would hallucinate, it would guess, right? Because the information was unclear. So if you're facing any problems where it's like, man, why did the AI do that? It's probably because something is unclear, okay? So in our system, what makes Local Business Pro so unique is it's kind of like Mad Libs. I don't know if you guys played these when you're in elementary school. I absolutely loved them, where there'd be a big story and you would fill in a noun, an adjective, a verb, and you had no idea what type of verb you were supposed to add, but then you would read it and it would be very comical. It'd be very funny for little kids because the sentence would make sense because the grammar was correct, but the story would make no sense, right? That's exactly how our AI works and operates, where you fill in all of your service details, all of your information inside of Local Business Pro, and then our system will actually replace it and build out these custom prompts based off of how the conversation is going, right? So it's not just one prompt that you have to go in and edit, but it's you build this system out, and then it allows your AI to handle very, very robust and difficult situations like a pro. So enough talking, let's dive in and look at those three things, okay? So all of it is going to be under AI logic. It's going to be your receptionist page, your offerings, and your business details. Those are the three things. So let's go look at the receptionist. This is a brand new account that I just logged in, just set up, and so I haven't done anything here, right? So in here, you've got your conversation logic, and it splits between current customer and new customer. Then additionally, you have objection handling, rules to follow, frequently asked questions, and business information. So let's take a look at these rules to follow. If I were to go in here and I added 50,000 rules to follow, or maybe even just 10 or 20, then the AI is gonna not put as much emphasis or weight on those rules to follow because there's so many rules, right? But if you have 3 or 4 rules to follow, then it's gonna make sure to do those every time because those are rules to follow, right? It's easier for it to remember. So when you're building this out, select your voice. If you want to change the personality, these personality traits are powerful. If you want to change what it says, how it talks about it, anything like that, personality traits. Languages, you can add those. Industry and office role. This just helps your AI know what type of business you are, right? Gets the full picture before it goes into any of the details. Then on your conversation logic, it's kind of like a Y in the road, which means that as you go through this, it's going to do a welcome greeting. Every time you save it, it's going to generate a handful of initial greetings, and your AI is going to rotate between those so it sounds more human. It sounds like anybody else picking up the phone. They're not going to do it the same every time. However, if you really want to make sure it says the same thing every time, toggle this on and you can write your message out and the AI will follow it exactly, okay? So it's going to do that welcome greeting. Then it's going to go through this step process, right? Request the caller name, gather the phone number, and then it's going to ask, are you a new customer or are you a existing customer? And that's where that first split in the road goes. So you can create custom rules, right? Custom conversation steps for current customers and for new customers. So if you're offering a promotion or anything like that, your new customers can know about it, but your current customers don't have to know about it, right? And so as you go down, If there's objections that happen in your business that you know how to get around and you want the AI to respond a certain way every time, add it here. The AI is going to know how to use that when it encounters that objection. We already covered rules to follow. And now frequently asked questions. These are all the things that don't really fit in anywhere else, but you can add these frequently asked questions so the AI knows how to handle very random questions. Now, we've had businesses go through this whole program and just create frequently asked questions, nothing else, and the AI does super, super well, right? Now, business information. This is all about your business. Anything that you want your customers to know about when they're calling in, or your AI to have access to that information. So this could be directions, physical landmarks, take a left once you see the KFC or whatever it is. It could be wheelchair accessibility, things like that the AI has to know about to let people know how to access the facility if it's an event center and things like that, right? So that's really the main setup on this page. All about the business, the AI Receptionist, and how things are going, okay? That's the very first thing. Now, when you're editing these, if you want, like on your conversation steps, to where it goes into appointment scheduling, and I'm like, okay, I need to get a lot of information, and some of that information is different based off of the service that's being performed. For example, if you are a HVAC repair, right? Then you might, is it a furnace replacement, or if I'm doing AC? If it's furnace, I need to know all about the furnace, but if it's AC, I need to know all about the AC. So that gets really complicated if I were to try to build that all out here, so you don't need to, right? You go over to offerings. Now in this offerings, this is where you put in all the information that's very specific to your business and what's needed. So when I'm gonna go into this offering, we're gonna name it, I don't know, we'll just say like AC repair. That's going to be a service. I'm going to give a simple description for it. Now, details to collect, right? I might need to know how old the AC is, what problems are there. I might need to know the address, the first name, last name of the customer, all of those details. This is where you add those, right? So I could say like, how old is the AC? Go ahead and create that. Add in everything that needs to collect. When your AI is selling this service, it's going to throw away all the others and bring in just these so it knows how to ask the right questions and not drag on that conversation. Details. Now, some people might say, like in pest control, right? Well, I don't want you to come and spray all these chemicals all over my house. So here you could write in like, here's our step-by-step process. And you can come into here and say step-by-step process 1. And then you can add these. And so if someone has questions about it, your AI knows exactly how you service the home, right? Not just general industry, but you specifically, right? Or your client specifically. Pricing details. This is where you can add in the pricing. You can do complex equations like if take the square footage of their home, times it by 1.3 for this service, times it by 1.4 for that service. The AI does fantastic with that quick math inside of there. Or you can say do not quote, right? Now we're going down to the appointment strategy. This is where if you have an integration connected, you can go in and add that to where it will write directly to a CRM on that calendar. You can set the appointment duration and then how often, how far out that it can book, and individual hours for this service, because sometimes you might do a service later than the others depending on how long it takes for the service to be complete, right? So that's the second thing you need to configure inside of your account. Now, the third is the easiest, and these are your business details. This is your website URL, your phone number, your public email, organization, address, your service areas, default time zone that the AI is going to use for scheduling, and then, of course, your business hours, right? So if your AI is not doing what you want it to do for your clients, for yourself, then it's one of these 3 areas that you need to fix. And often, a quick story about the service area. We have, or the business hours. There was a family fun center who had 5 or 6 different attractions inside of it, and they all had their own pricing, their own hours. And so our setup, our UI right here didn't work for it because there was only 1 hour. So what we actually had to do to get it what we wanted was for business information, we added a new one and we called it hours. And then we said, do not use the other business hours. So just like we talked about that spider web, I'm linking to those other business hours. So do not use the other business hours, as we have multiple attractions and each of them have their own hours. Use these hours down below, and then I would write in putt-putt, golf, laser tag, the skating rink, and everything else that they had, bowling, all of that. So it'd have its own hours in here, and that's how you use these tools to get the AI to understand truly how to use these different parts during the conversation. So if someone called in, was asking about laser tag, then halfway through they're like, oh, what time do you guys open? The AI already knows to look up laser tag because we added that in the business information versus the general hours in business details, right? So by linking and labeling it and demystifying for the AI, you can get this thing to do exactly what you want. So that's how you set up the AI as far as like the brain and the logic, those three main places. And just think about that spider web, referencing things, labeling things, use this, don't use that, and your AI is going to do exactly what you want it to do and still have the ability to do that advanced Mad Libs kind of setup to where it can replace the prompt based off of how the conversation's going and what the business's ultimate goals are. All right, guys, if you have any questions, please reach out. We have a much more detailed course. This is meant to be a quick guide on how to get started, how to build it all out. So if you need that, please go check it out. Please reach out to support if you have any questions. We want to make sure that you, your clients, and your AI receptionists are super successful. See you around.